Om Shanti. First of all, apologies that I'm late. I'm sorry. And when I first came on the first morning, I was sharing that it would be nice just to have a bit of a heart-to-heart family chat about our Brahman life, our center life. And we are going to have some questions in a little while. And if you still have more questions, you can write them. And we will have that chit-chat. But in my experience, what is the quality that makes me feel naturally close to Baba? What is the quality that makes me feel naturally close to all the family? Even though everyone is so different, has such different sanskaras. What is the quality that makes this life easy, I just feel relaxed and easy? It's self-respect. And to me, to rebuild my self-respect is fundamental to my spiritual progress, to my success in service, to absolutely everything in Brahman life. And I may have told you, I probably have, my first meeting with Baba, I was just a few months in Vietnam, and Daddy gently pushed me to go to Madhuban. I often feel that she thought, get him to Madhuban before he runs away somewhere. And my first meeting with Baba was in the history hall, and there was less people than in this room, maybe 70, I don't know. And when I sat at the end of the morning, Baba, we were asked, the double foreign season was 3 of us, and I sat in front of Baba, and Baba gave me long drishti. And the feeling was Baba's drishti was going right deep and scanning all the sanskaras in the memory track, like a laser beam. You know, and I felt like an open book. Baba, you could look in there. But I really felt Baba saw me up here. Baba was looking at me as such an elevated soul, and I could see that I was looking at myself here. And I really think, in a way, this whole life is stepping out of the attachment, the addiction, and I'm using that word purposefully, to a limited negative vision on myself. It's the seed of all the problems in this life. And in yesterday's movie, what did Baba say? As much as you have self-respect, you can respect everybody. As much as you have self-respect, you will be humble. The expression of someone with genuine humility is that comes from self-respect. And as much as you have self-respect, you will be loving. You'll love everyone, and everyone will love you. And in one way, once Baba said, becoming self-conscious is rebuilding this lost self. In the second half of the cycle, I completely lost myself. And I walk into Baba's door with no self-respect. And if in the center I'm having conflicts with people, feeling people looking down at me, all of these things are connected to my lack of self-respect. I would say it's my duty to rebuild a loving, stable relationship with myself. It's the foundation of feeling close to Baba and even having good relations with everyone. All of us began the cycle in full self-respect. So all of us have the blueprint of self-respect in our subconscious now. It's there. When I came to the corporate, I started to, desire. I started to lose my self-respect. I desire you to love me or respect me. Whatever desires influences me. At the end of the cycle, everything affects me. And this is my lack of self-respect. I've lost my inner power. And we as Baba's instruments, when we regain our self-respect, it will influence the whole family. And I often feel that many people in the world out there have self-confidence. We get educated, we get a job, I'm a manager, I have the confidence. Even in Brahma life, sometimes I have the confidence to do service, I have the confidence to run the center. It doesn't really mean that I really have deep love and respect for myself. And I feel at the end of the cycle, there's like 4 visions on the soul. There's the vision of the world, and the world will judge and label you in 1 second. We've all experienced it. You know how you know your status, your job. We've experienced this judgment, this discrimination. We've all experienced. There's the vision of others, and because other people don't have self-respect, they can't respect, so there's so much disrespect in the world. People find it very hard to respect each other. But there's the vision of myself on myself. This is the most powerful influence in my Brahman life. Sometimes I've heard some Brahmins complain, this one doesn't like me, this one rejects me, this one puts obstacles in my path. We complain about this person. It's nothing compared to my own vision on myself. The way I treat myself. And I put myself in a jail of limitation. This is what body consciousness is. When I start to think I'm shy, I can't do this, I'm not good at this, I'm inferior to this one and that one. And I've put myself in this box of limitation. And even though I know I'm a soul, I teach others they're a soul, I remain in this box of limitation. To me, the whole story of the Yajna, the daddies were uneducated. Many of them didn't finish school, but they had the courage to step out of the limited vision on themselves into Baba's vision and see themselves as Baba saw them. If I sit here and lead meditation and have the feelings of how Baba sees this gathering, Baba has so much love. You've completely committed your lives, you're dedicated, you follow what Baba says. But even though we are doing everything like that, we still are attached, addicted to a limited vision on myself. I sometimes feel that if I'm attached to that limited vision, have I really recognized Baba? Have I really recognized who is teaching me? If I don't step out of this prison I put myself in, it always tells me I'm not good enough, I'm inferior, I'm not pure. If I remain stuck in that place, then I haven't really recognized who's come to pull me out and give me back my self-respect. And what is self-respect? Self-respect is my own evaluation of the inner me. In the world, people get self-respect because I've got a position, a title, all the labels. But if I'm just with me on my own, how do I feel about myself? How do I feel? Or do I need a prop that I have to be a center in charge? I have to be this, I have to be that to feel good. Or when I have no label, no role, nothing, how do I feel about myself? Do I feel comfortable with who I am? Because this is here to restore my sense of self-value, to step back into that place. Because sometimes I've seen some of Baba's children are universally loved, can't love themselves, are respected by everyone, but still can't respect the self. Do a lot, and yet always feel I'm not good enough, I'm a failure. Because we are the old souls, and we've lost that self-respect. And what I've observed in myself is that sometimes we hold these powerful beliefs about myself. And deep work in this life, deep spiritual work, is to break down these beliefs. And if I hold the belief I'm inferior to others, it covers my perception. I always feel people are looking down at me. People don't respect me. If I hold the belief I'm not lovable, people won't really love me or like me, then even when people show me love, show me that, I can't feel it because my belief is so strong. Or this powerful belief that I'm not good enough. And that's what often we do, service to prove that I'm okay. When I get results in service, it sort of tells me I'm okay, but Baba wants us to really base my self-respect on my relationship with Baba, my virtues, my qualities, my spirituality. But this is the biggest learning curve of Brahman life. And I can tell you that many years ago, 40 years ago, seems like ancient history, I went to Madhavan and I realized that I had to improve my self-respect. Because if someone says something and I take sorrow, if someone's given an opportunity and not me, all these little things keep changing how I feel about myself. And I began to practice that, if I'm criticized, it doesn't matter, we'll all be criticized. What matters is if criticism changes how I feel about myself. We will all be criticized. If I make a mistake, we will make mistakes. What matters is, does that mistake make me change my vision on myself? Do I lose my self-respect constantly? Because ultimately, a jnani yogi soul lives in their self-respect no matter what is happening. And it's such a big learning curve, and I think most of us come to Baba, and because we lack self-respect, we become people pleasers. A people pleaser? If I please you and you're happy with me, I'm okay. So sometimes we try to please the seniors or please somebody to feel good about myself. If you give me love and respect, I'm okay. But if you don't give me love and respect, I'm not okay. And I realized even I had some of that within me. And then even, sometimes we try to live up to an image. Baba says, children, be pure, have pure thoughts, never have impure thoughts. And so on the surface, I look perfect, I wear the right clothes and I say the right things, but internally there's sometimes storms coming. Is that true? Yeah. We all have things that come inside. It's absolutely natural. But I began to realize to be gentle with myself, to be kind to myself. This is a spiritual quality because sometimes we make a mistake and I beat myself. Something's wrong or someone disapproves and I tell myself, my self-talk is very negative. I put myself down, I'm critical of myself. It makes me feel weak. And I began to realize I'm a work in progress. I left the shore of the Iron Age and I'm on my way to the Golden Age. But I haven't reached it yet, so it's really important to be kind to yourself. As I said, Baba has so much love that we have the courage to become pure. Don't be too heavy-handed with yourself. And this self-acceptance, because sometimes we do make a mistake, or we have some impure thoughts, and we reject the self. You think you're a Brahman, you're not a good Brahman. The self-talk is very critical. Impure thoughts will come to everybody. I think that for every single soul, anger, ego, greed, lust, and attachment will come to all of us in some form, all of us. The real issue is how I react. Do I have shame, guilt, lack of self-respect, fear? It's the reaction that does the damage. I'm a Brahman and I'm having these thoughts. Oh, I'm a bad Brahman, so I put myself down. But a knowledgeable soul understands I'm in this process of transformation. And I really learned to be kind to myself. Be honest. Yes, I did say the wrong thing. Yes, those thoughts aren't good. Don't overreact, but bring change in myself. Because it's a journey, it's a real journey. It's a journey, this is the highest journey we're on. So be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself. Is it possible? Possible? Getting lots of smiles. It's so important because we're on this highest journey with Baba. And I feel that when you have that gift of self-respect, life becomes so much easier. And once Baba said something which I often mention in public talks. Baba said, children, let go the eye of disheartenment and the eye of arrogance and re-emerge the eye of self-consciousness. That made such a difference for me in my self-learning. Because I began to realize that there's three personalities inside, and sometimes there's an inner power struggle between my ego, my lack of self-respect, and my practice to be self-conscious. And Baba said, the eye of arrogance, which is the body-conscious eye, when this eye is in power, it compares with others and thinks I am right. For years Baba defined ego. When I think I'm right, the way I see things is right. Others are wrong, I am right. This is how Baba was often saying this was the main marks of ego. But when it comes into my emotions, when my ego is dominant in my inner world, that's when I feel easily insulted, disrespected, not valued, excluded, sensitive. And I often feel if any of those emotions are going in me, if I'm feeling insulted, disrespected, not included, no, my ego is deceiving me. I'm not self-conscious. Even if someone insults you to your face, if you feel it, that's my ego accepting that insult. Or the eye of lack of self-respect. When this eye is ruling, it compares with others too. And it feels others are better, others are right, others don't love me. There's always this thought, no one really appreciates me, no one really accepts me, no one really loves me. And when it comes into my feelings, I feel hopeless, unworthy, inadequate. And when I'm feeling those feelings, no, my lack of self-respect is deceiving me. And these two have dominated me for half a cycle. And that's why Baba said, bring out the original I, the eternal soul. You know, and I feel in a way you don't have to fight your ego or your lack of self-respect. We just have to really do the work in self-conscious practice. And over the years, I've done many experiments in the laboratory of my mind to become self-conscious. And because sometimes you just chant like a mantra, I'm a soul, I'm a soul, I'm a soul. Do I experience it? Do I feel it? And that's why I did all these experiments. Because this is the deep work. We are the instrument souls to do the deep work of spiritual life when my foundation is deep. You know, I live in my self-respect, automatically that influences me, my service companions, absolutely everything. And once I said to Didi Manmohini, and she was an amazing yogi, and I said to Didi, Baba talks about so many efforts, what's the main effort to make? Straight away she said, to be incorporeal. Going, When Brahma Baba became perfect, what was the first word he mentioned? So I did experiments for a few years, not just a few months. In my spare time, I would practice to be not the point and a non-physical entity. And I kept asking myself the question, how does it feel? Not just chanting, I'm incorporeal, like a mantra. What's the feeling? And you know, I found automatically when I was an incorporeal soul, nothing of this corporeal world could affect me. And I realized that if I really practice deep self-consciousness, you will be detached, you will have self-respect, everything will come naturally. And this is where I think if we do this deep work in Brahman life, to establish such a foundation that no person, no situation, no event can rock my boat and shake me. You think it's possible to get so solid? Because that's what Baba wants. When you have self-respect, you'll be stable. You'll be absolutely stable. And so, that third eye to do this deep work, because the more I become self-conscious, the less my ego will affect me. So I don't feel insulted, I don't feel respected, I don't feel easily hurt. And the more my lack of self-respect, where I sometimes feel hopeless about myself, I'm no good, I'm not worthy, I live in that stability of self-respect. Really, this is the work I think Baba really wants us to do to become spiritually strong. Take that gift. Once Baba said, this is the gift Baba gives all of his children.